Hello everyone. So today we will learn about HPLC. What is HPLC? HPLC is high performance liquid chromatography. So this is very important tool in analysis of many components in a mixture because it has a high performance and high speed. It employs high pressure. So unlike a simple chromatographic technique like paper or TLC, that is thin layer chromatography, this technique is very useful because it can analyze, it can identify, it can purify, as well as quantify the individual components in a mixture. So let us see what is this particular type of chromatography. So this is a liquid chromatography where the sample is forced through a column. Now this column has a stationary phase which may be of irregularly shaped particles, and it has a mobile phase which is liquid. So this is a one of the type of column chromatography where it involves these following things: adsorption, retention, separation of adsorbed substances, recovery of the individual components, and quantitative and qualitative analysis of solute and the components which are recovered. So what is the principle behind HPLC? The principle behind HPLC is just very simple. Unlike the performance, the liquid chromatograph here, it involves the placement or injection of a small volume of liquid sample into a column. The column is packed with the porous particles, which is a stationary phase, and then the samples are separated, they are transported by a liquid mobile phase moved by the gravity, and it applies high pressure. So the main principle of separation here is adsorption. So this is a picture which shows you what is a HPLC. Here, as you can see, a small black ink is being passed through a column, and as the black ink moves through the column, which has a stationary phase, the black ink gets separated into separate colors, different colors, and each color is eluted as different fractions. So you can purify the colors, you can identify the colors, and you can also quantify the colors. So let us see the types of HPLC. HPLC can be of different types based on the mode of separation. It can be a normal phase chromatography where usually the stationary phase is polar and the mobile phase is non-polar, whereas the reverse phase chromatography is the reverse of the normal phase. That is, the stationary phase is non-polar and mobile phase is polar. Whereas the second type of HPLC is based on the principle of separation. That is, you have absorption chromatography. So absorption HPLC, we have ion exchange HPLC, and we have ion pair HPLC and gel permeation HPLC. Apart from this, we also have HPLC, which is based on the affinity. And there is another HPLC which is latest to come, which is because of chiral chromatography, where HPLC is involving the chirals or the separation of stereoisomers, like we have L isomers and D isomers. HPLC can be also classified based on the elution technique, the isocratic elutions, gradient elutions. And we have analytical HPLC and preparative HPLC. So where in analytical, we can only do a recovery, we can only do an analysis of the components, whereas in preparative, we can recover the substances. So let us see the instrumentation. So this is how an HPLC would look like. And in this HPLC, these are the components. So first, if you see, I can put a pointer here. So you can see that this is a solvent inlet filter through which the solvent travels. And there's a high pressure pump which pumps the solvent through a filter. And in this point, you have the injection valve. This is the place where the sample is loaded. So through this injection valve, the sample is loaded. And as the solvent moves from its inlet through the injection valve, it takes up the sample and moves along through the pre-column filter and goes into the column. So as the sample along with the solvent goes into the column, the sample mixtures get separated based on the adsorption property. It would have a stationary phase, so the molecules, the samples would get attached to the stationary phase based on their affinity, and they get separated. And the solvent moves along, taking some of the sample along with it, and it gets eluted out, which gets detected here by the detector, and the readings are recorded on the monitor. and the remaining solvent gets eluted out into the waste reservoir. So this is the overall functioning of HPLC. So we will learn in detail the types of HPLC, the types of pumps which are used, and the types of detectors, injectors which are used in the further class. Thank you.